everyone to the show. I'm your host, Don Vic.
I'm your co-host, IG.
We in the building, baby. You already know what it is and what it could be. Today's a great day. It's a Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. We had a great interview yesterday with Kathy Mohammed. She was on the show yesterday. She was an amazing woman, good friend of mine's, and just want to send her a big shout out and thank her for coming aboard the show. Also, I want to thank Enlightened Soul Paranormals that were on the show yesterday with Mark and his crew. Amazing people. I just want to thank you guys for coming on the show and giving us the opportunity to bring you on the show. So today we have 3 amazing shows coming, man. We're going to be real busy today. We got 3 amazing people coming on our show today. And today we're going to start the show with a good friend of ours called Alan Greenstein, and we'll be talking to him in about 2 seconds. And we're going to bring him aboard. Please, everyone, welcome Alan Green to the show. Alan.
Hello.
How you doing, brother?
Welcome.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes. And by the way, it's Greenstein.
Greenstein.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Greenstein.
Everybody welcome Alan Greenstein.
Greenstein.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
It's always the pronunciation. Thank you.
Yep. Well, a lot of people do it that way.
Okay.
That's what I prefer.
So how's the Christmas shopping going?
Oh, I think shopping is pretty much wrapped up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And so we were just looking, researching a little bit, and we know that you're a producer, and blogger, and so on. So you worked in the entertainment industry since 2009.
Yes, that's about the time I started because of it's really social media that made that possible. When I joined Twitter, it enabled me to connect with a whole bunch of people. And based on that, things kind of grew from there.
Right, because you started off just being a founder, and then you grew from being a founder to getting into the film industry and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, it began with really people reaching out to me, and really they wanted me to help finance their particular projects. So, and as a result of that, I would get some kind of, I call it a flavor of producer credit, some kind of producer credit like executive or just producer or something else like that. And that's really how I got my start. But eventually, as I got to know more about the industry, I wanted to have a bigger role. So, like a more artistic role, like looking at scripts and viewing other things associated with the project, so I could become more knowledgeable. But we'll be talking more about that later. But that's really how I got my start. And this is long before my my organization, Support Our Creatives, came along. It was just that came quite a bit later.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I know you have a passion with helping filmmakers bring their projects to life.
Right.
What do you love about bringing the project into life?
Well, I think it's important for people who want to get their message out in any way, shape, or form to have the opportunity to do so. And some people do it by writing a book. Some people do it by writing a film or a TV show, or it could be anything that they might. They might even start a business. That's also being creative. So I think it's important to try to do my best to get the word out there, and also help in any way I can to make the project become successful.
Okay. What is the Clubhouse about?
Oh, Clubhouse? Oh, sure. Clubhouse is a relatively recent application, another social media type of platform. I think it's been around for maybe a year or maybe a little more than a year, where it's basically an audio only platform where people can collaborate. You can join. They have what are called rooms. Rooms get opened by people, and anybody can come on in to the room and ask to be on stage, which means that they'll have the opportunity to speak. So as I said, it's audio only. The only thing you see are their avatars, like their faces. So and in Clubhouse, amazing how that works is that lots of influential people in whatever industry you're interested in are on Clubhouse, so that you can make some very powerful connections. In my case, I'm interested mostly in rooms that deal with the entertainment industry, but you can find just about any kind of subject matter you want out there. You know, it depends what you're interested in. And so if you're interested in connecting with people who have the same interests as you do, Clubhouse is a great place to be.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Since in 2015, you have been working hands-on with web series, films, and music videos.
Yeah, that was about the time that that Support Our Creatives was born, and so I decided that Support Our Creatives would be like the umbrella organization under which I would do all my entertainment type work. Even before Support Our Creatives, I still was doing that kind of stuff, but it wasn't really centered under one particular umbrella. So that's what so that was really the initial goal of Support Our Creatives was that, as well as having a place for me to express myself through my blog. So Support Our Creatives really just started out as the blog, but then but it also is the umbrella under which they said, you know, I do all my entertainment type work.
So
And
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, and it was really there was a person who was I guess you call it a person who dealt in social media and promoting social media. She suggested that I do this because I didn't really have a project of my own, but expressing yourself is an important project too. So that's how the blog came about, and that's continued up to this day, and will continue.
You also done some work as a background performer. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, well, eventually I got to the point where here in Maryland, I would request to be on set of various productions that I was a part of. Like maybe I'd be doing some financing or otherwise working with the people in a particular movie or TV or web series, whatever it is. And but that way I got to connect with a lot of people, obviously. And sometimes they actually call for extras. So there were examples. That's an example. They would actually call for extras, and people would show up and get some. Who knows what kind of screen appearance they would make. As a matter of fact, my wife Randy and I, we both been extras in various productions. So that's how that happened. But I've actually, in certain circumstances, been more than just been an extra. I've actually spoken a few times on screen too.
Okay, that's awesome. So what do you love about them? Did you like the acting part of it, or did you just like the back scene of it?
For the most part, I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy, and besides doing various kind of production work, also various roles behind the scenes. But occasionally being on screen and actually speaking is kind of nice too. But it definitely would not be my specialty. I'm not sure how good I would be at memorizing lines and stuff like that. But as I said, but that was kind of like a fringe benefit in a sense of actually being on set, was having the opportunity to occasionally actually be on screen. So that's good. I mean, you know, any experience is a good experience, and you learn more every time you do it.
Right. You know, I have a hard time remembering my name. Forget a script. I have a hard time, Alan, remembering anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess. Well, the important thing is for you to remember what time your show is on, right?
Yeah. Because I got a timer. I got a timer. It tells me what time I'm supposed to be on.
Right. Oh, that's good. Well, you definitely are able to keep track, considering that you have 3 shows today. That's amazing.
Yes, I stay real busy. You know, it just got really out of control. You know, for the past couple months. You know, a lot of people reaching out, wanting to come on the show, and which is a good thing for me and a good thing for them, because it gives them an opportunity to, you know, come and expose their talent and talk about certain topics, you know, and they get exposure and promotion. So I'm happy that people are reaching out to me, all types of people, and we can give them this platform to be able to expose them.
Right. Well, it definitely, yeah, it definitely is appreciated. I appreciate that you were giving me the opportunity to get my message out there, and I'm sure that everybody else who gets the opportunity to appear on your show has a positive experience from it.
Right, right. Because see, sometimes people like yourself, in my opinion, um, don't get the credit that they need because a lot of people don't see the back scene of everything that's happening. You know, like in the movie,
Right.
and a person like yourself working in the back scene, you do a lot of work. You know, you
Yeah.
do a lot of work and you make a lot of connections to make the film happen. So people need to see the face behind the scene that's making things happen.
Right. The real Alan,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yep,
Greenstein.
that's me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Is that uh, people who are not part of the industry, just using or any industry for that matter, if you're not there behind the scenes, you don't really know how what goes into it. Even if you're at a factory, you manufacture some kind of a widget. Same story. You don't know really what goes into it unless you had the opportunity to actually be there. So in my case, I've always wanted to be on set, and having that opportunity in various disciplines has really helped me learn a lot about it, and I appreciate more what everybody has to go through to make you see something up on the screen. I appreciate more what it takes to really get it up there.
Right, right. Was this something that you wanted to do, Alan, when you was a young man? You wanted to get
Um,
into the industry, or you just bumped into it and got into it?
um, Well, no, I've always been interested in entertainment, even when I was young. Always interested in. Matter of fact, I was interested in looking at the credits. Back in the day when you actually had to get up to turn the channel on the TV. I would
Right.
say before remotes, I would say, don't change it. But hold on, don't change it yet. I want to take a look at the credits. So even at that early age, looking at the credits got me wondering, what do all these people do?
Right.
So but of course it was many years later until I finally got involved. And it's interesting that since I was brought up in New York City, that would have been a
Right.
perfect place to break into the industry at the time. But it turns out things didn't quite work out that way. So that never really happened until many years later. Even many years after I'd actually moved away from New York.
Mm,
So it
right.
did take a while, but I have been interested for a long time. But as they say, life gets in the way, and there were higher priorities. So
Right.
it took until a lot of years later, and we've been actually living down here in Maryland before I had the opportunity to get involved.
That's amazing.
Nice. It also, he was also involved in being a co-producer in Real Network. Tell us about that?
Oh yeah, the Real Network. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. The Real Network is founded by Tierra Williams. She's based in Los Angeles, and once again I connected through her indirectly through social media, through somebody else on a project she was in, and so now we started communicating with each other, and started being interested in working on the projects with her, and ultimately I think it was around 2013 she actually formed the organization to support our creatives. She formed the company at that time. So obviously, in that case, so all her projects were under the umbrella of the Real Network. And as I said, we've talked frequently, and basically all these many years later, I've always been a part of her projects.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
to tell the people what creatives are. What's creatives?
I think of a creative as anybody who produces anything. So it is a pretty broad definition. It isn't just people in entertainment writing a book or doing a movie. It could
Right.
be anybody who creates anything. Start a business, build a better widget, build a better toaster, whatever. So they're all creatives. Yeah. So that's my definition for creative, and as I said, I have a special area of expertise, in the entertainment area, but I appreciate creatives of all kinds.
Right. Because it says, they said you have a mission. You make it possible to bring creative idea to fruition. Did I pronounce that
Yes,
right?
yes. That was kind of like my original tagline. Is that and that really, in a nutshell, kind of explains what I do. I want to collaborate with people, and what can I do? I ask them, what can I do to have positive input to your project? What can I do to make your project become successful? And
Right.
so that's like my tagline, and that's what I do.
You do a lot. You do a lot, Alan. You do a lot of work.
Yeah. I think and I have to, I have to be careful managing my time and the projects that I'm on. I have to really try not to get overwhelmed or overloaded by what I do.
Right.
But that's a skill. It takes once again, that's the skill, developing the ability to control what you want to get involved with, the ability to say no, stuff like that. So I'm still learning.
Right. What do you love to do most out of everything you do? What drives you more?
Um, I I think being involved from the birth of a project, through pre-production, leading scripts, and that kind of thing. I kind of having my artistic input, just saying, let's do it this way, helping to come up with the cast for a particular project. And so, but and of course, that's the pre-production part for what I really enjoy is being on set. That has really always been my overall objective, going way back, and finally here in Maryland, which actually might be surprising to some people. This is the Washington D.C. Baltimore area. They have lots going on here, lots of
Yes.
talent, lots of projects being made. As a matter of fact, even big time series, like if you remember, let's see, they're having big time projects actually produced here in Maryland, like House of Cards, for example. Remember that series?
Mhm.
So that was I didn't realize at the time that it was actually being produced in Maryland, not too far from where I live. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the people that I have been working with have appeared in House of Cards and various other programs that have been done in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. I haven't been involved with House of Cards myself, but I've been involved. But people who have been in House of Cards, I've been working on with them on their project.
Wow. Baltimore is becoming the next Hollywood.
Well, that would be neat. That'd be nice if Baltimore could actually start to say that. But they really do have great talent out there. It's amazing. As a matter of fact, they also have this Baltimore School for the Arts is a well-known high school in Baltimore where once again people who are interested in doing creative work, if they can go there and learn a lot about it. A matter of fact, I'm working with a bunch of graduates from the class of 2000 on a documentary film about their experiences and how they've stayed together over the past 20 years since they graduated. But yeah, Baltimore definitely has it.
So, how involved is your wife? And so, by the way, congratulations. It's been at least 50 years.
42.
42. I'm
42.
I'm giving it that extra 8 too. I'm putting it.
Well, we're gonna get there. You'll see. We'll get there.
Yeah. So, how involved is your wife as far as I know she supports you and everything, but what does she
Right.
do as far as?
Yeah. Well, I think typically is having her be with me when we go to things like premieres and stuff like that. And of course, as I told you, she's also been an extra. So she does. As you said, she supports me a lot, and I think it's important to have to have her with me when I'm at these various events.
Right.
Matter of fact, we were at a premiere just last night for a film called Under His Control, which was written by Andrea Harris, who once again lives in the Washington D.C. area, and so we went to that last night, and that was really a great experience, and that came out. We actually, my wife and I were actually visiting the set one day when it was still being filmed, and so last night I finally got to see the premiere of that film. So that was really exciting. So that's what we like to do. That going to the premieres and supporting the people who are creating these great projects.
How many projects would you say you helped create?
Oh, that's a good question. In terms of if in terms of anything about any kind of involvement with, it's got to be at least probably at least 10, maybe even more over the years. Some I've been involved with more, more than others. Especially, I get involved with projects pretty much all over the country. And maybe
Right.
even so because these days that's all possible, right? Because everything can be done virtually, even before COVID came along. So you
Right.
can
Right.
you can collaborate and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's not surprising that with having access to people all over the country, as I said, besides the people here in Baltimore, where I actually get to be on set, but I have relationship with people in New York and in Los Angeles, all over the place. So based on that, I have I've been part of quite a number of projects.
Okay. What takes for you to take on a project? Like what do you need to see to say, okay, I'm in this project or I want to be a part of this project? What does it
Well,
take?
I I like to see what the script, for example. I like to but first and foremost, send me the script. Let me take a look at it, see what it's all about, or send me any kind of promotion material that you prepared, like pitch decks and things like that, and and also show me your budget and tell me your schedule. Let me know everything about it, and based on that, I can weigh all that stuff and decide if I want to get involved.
Okay. It's good to know. I'm just asking because we're working on a project now. Bella, myself, Mark Lee, and Steve Alexander, and we wanted to bring you aboard the project. So I just kind of want to know, so I know I can talk to them and kind of say, well, listen, this is what Alan is looking for, and
Yes.
we need
Is
to
this
send
the is this the is this the paranormal project you're talking about?
Yes, the paranormal project is it's called, I think, Paranormal Murder. That's what Mark had told me. But it's an interesting story, Alan, because it's based on true events, right?
Yeah.
It's
Great. I
based on
like that.
true events, right? And I love true events. The only thing I don't like about it is ghosts, spirits,
Uh-oh.
because
Well,
it's scary.
I guess that means you're gonna have to stay away from the set.
Yeah.
I'll be behind you, Alan. When you run, I run.
Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to resuming talking about that, and then see where it leads.
Yes. So Mark Lee, which is the lead investigator for Enlightened Soul Paranormal, he was on the show yesterday.
Oh,
He has sent over Steve Alexander the story. So Steve is going to kind of create, the script, um, depending on what Mark had sent him for the story. He's going to create the script through that. So I just can't wait. We got a meeting this Wednesday. I believe we're going to try to reach out to you to be a part of that chat
oh.
conversation.
Yes, yeah. As I said, I'm definitely looking forward to to getting together and talking about it.
Right, because you might have some ideas that that we can bring to the table as well. As far as putting the project together or the story. Because you've been doing it for a while, and so everyone's opinion, it's good. It just don't. I like to work as a team. Everybody's opinion counts. Everybody's thought
Yeah,
counts in this, and so whatever we can make, how we can make this project the best project and bring it out, then that's what we do.
yeah.
So
That's your what you said is just perfect. It makes a lot. That's the approach everybody should take when it comes to working on a project.
right, teamwork. I like to work with the team. I don't like to make decisions on my own, or I say, listen, if it's up to me, I say, listen, it ain't up to me. It's up to us. So
Yes,
everybody gotta raise their hand. Everybody gotta be aboard. That's how I like to operate.
right. Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
that way, if we all come aboard, then there's no problem. Everybody knows that what they need to do, and we move forward from there. But I think this is going to be a great project, for us, and if we film it correctly and we bring the story out the way it's supposed to be brought out, then I think this is going to be a real good movie, real good film.
Yeah, and and during the whole process of going through this,
Mhm.
it'd be really interesting to see how it all evolves. You may come up with an original script, but then things happen. After all the discussion and other various factors, who knows how it'll evolve?
Right.
So and that's all part of the process, and it's all for the good because if you have to change it because it'll make it a better product, be better for everybody.
Right. Yes, right. And that's what I love about it because you never know where it might take a turn.
Yeah.
You know?
It might be something that, you're doing in the process of, and then you make a mistake by doing it, but because of that mistake, you say, wait a minute, that changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was something good it makes it so much better.
Right.
Yeah. There are lots of circumstances that could cause the need for a script revision. So, and we have to be prepared to, address them all and weigh the options, if pro or con, and make and the team decides, what's the best way to go, right? So,
Right.
that's
Right.
What we do. That's what we're going to do.
Right. So that's why we're trying to put the right team together for that same reason you just said. We might have an idea, but you might see it a different way and say, you know what, why don't we try it this way and see how this way works, or you need to add this, or you need to add this, or let's take this off, because you have experience in filming, and so does Steve. Steve been doing this for over 40 plus years. Bella's, she's been busy doing her thing as well with filming. She's getting a lot of projects. And so bringing this team together and sitting at the table and talking about this, I think that we can come up with a great project.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I'm kind of going through the same thing right now. Another project. A person named Michael Emery. He's put together. He's put together for a therapy session. And we are currently in the early stages of talking about it, in terms of seeing the script, even already coming up with actors to be in it, and and getting the team together. So I'm going through a kind of an effort, just like you were just talking about with that one. And I think it's great that that Michael reached out to me and asked me to help. So let's see what happens. It's in the early stages, and we'll see how someday therapy session will make it to the screen.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. I know Mike too. I know Mike Emery. I met him through Bella at a shoot that we went to in DMV in Baltimore with June Gassino. June DeGascio, which is the director. Not sure if you know him.
No.
Oh, you don't know him. Okay. So so that's how I met Mike. I met Mike there at that shoot. So I know exactly who you're talking about. So how many projects are you working on right now? Are you like in the process of working with other projects, or?
Let's see how many projects at the moment. Well, let's see. There are a number of projects in various stages of development. Let me mention. I can't really recall the number right offhand, unfortunately. But obviously the ones I'm working on right now is actually a small number, and I think that might have been somewhat influenced by the pandemic. But anyway, let me talk about project called The Haunted Mind of an Insomniac. This is
wow,
just a name.
Just a name.
Yeah, I give a shout out to Danielle Earl. I think she's on here right now.
She said that she's worked with you for 10 years. And,
yes.
Yep, he was my EP for Brooklyn in Love and Future Film Lovers Game, and the upcoming film, The Haunted Mind of an Insomniac.
Yeah.
She is right. She is one of my long-term relationships in entertainment. And by the way, that's one of my long-term goals is to have long-term relationships. Like I mentioned Tierra Williams and the Real Network. She's another example of long-term relationship. As a matter of fact, that relationship with Tierra and Danielle, they've actually been going on almost exactly the same amount of time. So
Wow.
let me tell you a little bit about Haunted Myra and Insomniac while we're at it. So
Okay.
basically, it's a film. It's a film noir genre set in 1950s New York, and this man, he is very adversely affected by the death of his wife, the suicide of his wife. So he starts to, so you get to a point where he's not sure what's real and what isn't. So that's in a nutshell what that film is about. And I'm bringing it up because we are getting very close to locking the film. You know, it's just about done. And then so we're getting close to that. And matter of fact, I just talked to Danielle earlier today about it. And then we're going to be working on distribution, like starting to figure out film festivals that we should be sending this to.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
that's one project that I can name that I'm actually working on right now. And I also mentioned therapy session. I just mentioned that, of
right.
course. And yeah, and also let's see what else is there. Well, those are two of them anyway, of a number of projects that I'm currently working on.
Okay.
So yeah.
So is Danielle Danielle, is she a producer? What's her part in this?
Well, definitely. She definitely can be the producer of films such as she mentioned, Lover's Game and all those. And
Okay.
but basically, she actually rewrote them. Let's put it that way. So she's a writer. I guess you could say she's a writer first.
Okay.
And as I said, the two of us we produce her films together. So that's what. So it's really been a pleasure working with Daniel over the years, and it's going to be continuing. So it's
That's awesome.
Danielle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
want to say hi to Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Thank you for logging in. Thank you for the support. So are you guys planning on, when the film is all done, are you guys planning on maybe say prime time, Netflix? Where do you see this movie going?
Okay. Well, right now we're going to be going the film festival
Film
route
festival.
at starters. Yes, right.
So how does that work? Film festival, and then from the film festival, they might pick it up. Say Netflix might pick it up. Prime
so
time, they pick it up.
Yeah, that's exactly what could happen. It's been known that for at film festivals for a film to find a distributor. So remains to be seen, and we're confident that we'll have a positive outcome from going through the film festival circuit. And I've been involved with a lot of projects that actually have gone the film festival circuit. So I've seen that. I've seen that. So it's good too.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's critical to say that any project that you're going to bring to a festival, you got to make sure everything is correct. Like the filming has to be right, because you're looking for investors to,
Yeah.
or people, someone to pick up this movie. So you want to make sure that everything's on point before you bring this to the festival. The acting, the shots, the angles, everything has to be perfect.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's a very important topic in general.
Right.
The technicals behind the film is because in the editing and the sound, as you said, and all that, and even the stuff you do while you're doing with the lighting and all that. All that has to be, you have to really be have really people who are really good at this to put it all to bring it together that way. Just like you said, exactly. So that's definitely one of the biggest challenges, when it comes to putting a film together, is the technical side of it.
Right. And the reason why I say this, Alan, and see, and I say this because I've been to some festivals to watch upcoming movies and series, and the storyline of some of the movies I've seen were impeccable. They were like great stories, but the filming was so bootleg. Like whoever was filming wasn't a great filmer. Like, cameras moving, and like you couldn't quite really see the actor's face. They were in too dark, so even though the story was good, I didn't want to watch the movie anymore because it just didn't look good. You know,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's very, very important for any filmmaker or that's out there that's wants to put out a movie and bring it to these festivals. It's critical for you to have all these angles on point. The lighting has to be on point. I went to one where the actual actor was talking and the wording was off. Like it was like off. But it was a great story, so you know that has to really, really, really be uh uh you
Yes.
know
You have to
done
have all,
correct.
yeah, you have to have, yeah, yeah, everything has to come together, the lighting, the
Yes,
sound, and it's not just a script that someone is reading. It has to, people have to be able to watch it and listen to it.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And that's a big challenge for the filmmaker. And the filmmakers, they really learn a lot from me, I'm sure, from every film that they make, and they know the pitfalls, and they try not to try not to repeat them the next time they have their next film. So
right,
for the actual people who are doing the filming and stuff, they obviously, they I consider them, they have this one of the great skills. The people who actually run the camera and set up the lighting and do the sound, and the editor, they have to be very, very skilled people, and they have to know what they're doing.
right. What would you say is one of your best projects that you've been involved in? Like, because I know you do a couple, but you'd be like, wow, this project here, I love this project.
Okay. Yes. Matter of fact, there's a web series that went on for 2 seasons called Shock Nation, and
Shock Range.
Shock Nation. Kimye Workman, she's the driving force behind it. She was one of the writers, and she was the one, she reached out to me to work on that with her. As a matter of fact, I went to the showing, or the premiere of the first season, and I asked her, if I could get involved with the project, and she said yes. So I wasn't involved over season one, but season two I was involved, and it was such a great learning experience for me. As I was pretty much at every shooting session that they had, and one of my primary roles during Shock Nation's production was as a script supervisor.
Mhm.
So
Uh-huh.
I really learned a lot from that, and I can bring up a few bullet points about what a script supervisor does. And the script supervisor, they basically have to know the entire script and understand what the intent is of all the different lines. Then the script supervisors help actors run through their lines and can make sure that nothing is missed when they're actually doing it, filming it, and also script supervisor has to keep track of all the script changes that are made. Even, for example, even when we're at a shooting session, they decide that some of the script has to change. So that has to be remembered and put into the official copy of the script. So and also, when as I said, during rehearsal, make sure the actors know their lines, and actually during the filming, if I find that someone missed an important element in the scene, I point that out to the director, say, oh, they missed this whole paragraph, so we have to go back and do it again. So the reason I bring up Shock Notion is because I think that my favorite experience on set has been as a script supervisor. So
That's not an easy job.
so that to answer your question, Shock Nation is the one.
That's not an easy job. You know,
Yeah.
you got to keep up with everything, and you got several actors doing several roles, so you have to memorize all their lines to help them, memorize their lines and say, hey, you forgot this part, you got to go back and you got to do it. That must be a stressful job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I have to admit that that what a script supervisor in a big Hollywood production does is more than what I just mentioned. They have a lot of responsibility. So I can say I've been a subset, the basics of what a script supervisor does, but a script supervisor, has so much to do in terms of in the formal definition of a script supervisor does. But at least I've learned to appreciate, having knowing the importance of actors knowing the lines and how to react and stuff like that. So that's true. And also there's also the continuity aspect. Since things are usually often done out of sequence, you have to keep track of the clothing that people are wearing. So that
another thing.
so when they come back to that particular part in the script, we have to make sure they have the exact same clothing on and everything like that. So that's something else that we have to keep track of.
Wow, that's a lot. I mean, I've done a little acting and stuff, but since I got old timers, I said, listen, put my script up on the signs where I can see it. I can remember it. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'd like to point out that I'm not sure how it is in all productions,
right?
But a lot of times, you don't have to do the line exactly as it's written on the script. As long as the same message is gotten when that particular paragraph is spoken, right. then it's okay. Because that's one thing I learned also is that if you get the intent out, that's also good. But if you miss something completely, then that's something you have to bring up, and because it might be very important. So you bring something like that up, if something was totally missed, oh no, we have to let them know that you missed that particular line, and also sometimes,
I don't think. I think I want to be the water boy. Water, water, anybody?
Okay.
Water.
Okay, so that means you want to be the production assistant.
There you go.
There you go. Production assistant. Yeah, I mean that's usually when most people get their start is that's production assistants.
Yeah,
and
you gotta start from somewhere.
Yeah, my definition of a production assistant is you do whatever they want you to do.
That's right. That's right.
So
they ask you to go get lunch, or go set up this lighting, or put the shade on the window, or do this on the set, dress up the set, stuff like that. So
Right.
So I mean that's all how I saw it out too, and of course it's production assistants are very important. Even that's where people get their start. Without the production assistant, nothing is going to happen.
Right.
You just have a set with nothing on it, basically.
So being that you've gone through so many projects, and let's say the most productive, what is one of the worst projects that you had bad experience with, like a hard time, or
okay. Well,
this went haywire.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to mention any names, but I will tell you some things that happened. So there have been situations where actors have been scheduled to appear at a particular shoot on a day, like whatever day it is, and they don't show up, and they didn't call in to say they wouldn't be coming. So that, of course, wastes everybody's time. So that's what I call. So I've seen examples of unprofessional behavior under certain circumstances. That's
communication.
Right, exactly. It seems to be the common sense thing to do, but yet, I mean, a lot of times people aren't able to show up, but at least if they call and let people know, that's better than not saying anything at all. So I've noticed that sometimes, and let's see, and also, and this probably is through nobody's fault at all, is there have been projects that have started, but then the project was just paused. They said they didn't want to go through it they didn't want to go through with it anymore for some reason. So so I've had experience with some of those. So I've been working on projects where all of a sudden they decided that they just said, well, we'll come back to it in the future. We're going to put it on the shelf for now, and maybe they never come back to it. So
right.
It's nobody's fault. It could be that certain cast members aren't available anymore, or it could be just about anything. So I don't know if you would actually call it a bad experience. Let's say it's really it's life. Those kind of things really happen, and you have to learn to accept it and move on to the next thing.
Right. Because a lot of people, you have your mindset on something, and you want to get it done, but like you said, you have to make sure that everything is there. even though it's there, but then it comes to that point when you can't get it done because of that one thing, that one thing that just happened that just shuts it all down. But at some point, they say, some people keep it going. That's the main thing. You got to stay focused, communicate. That's the main thing in this, in these days is communication,
Yeah, that's exactly right. And and that's something that if you're not involved with projects, you never know. For example, that did you know that this project was being done, but it got shelved? You wouldn't know about things like that necessarily. People may not actually be even talking about things like that. But when you're actually involved on and then you actually see it, then you see this, that this actually happens. So basically, as to say is. Without having the opportunity to be part of these projects, you wouldn't know that these things really happen. Sometimes you can't get a project all the way to the end. Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Right. And for actors that are out there that are that are looking for work, you have to be responsible. You have to show up to these projects because even if you got a small line, you're a big asset to that project, because if you don't show up, then the next person can't do his part because they need your part, your line,
right,
to be there so they can do their line. So when don't show up, don't think that you're just hurting yourself. You're hurting other actors because they need those lines to be there so they can do their lines.
Right. Exactly.
So a lot of projects sometimes, like I worked in this project a while ago, and we were showing up to the scene, and some of the actors wasn't even showing up. Some were coming in late. So that to me was just a sign of people not being responsible, not taking the project serious. So it took a lot out of me. I'm saying, hey, well, I'm here all the time. I'm here. I'm learning my lines. These people ain't showing up. Then they show up and they don't got their lines with them, or they forgot their lines. So it was like everywhere, and it was a great story. And I pulled out. I said, you know what, I can't do this. I got other things that I can be doing. Instead of being here. And kind of not doing anything really, because if these people don't show up, then the production's gonna have to hold back because these people are big assets to the movie. Either they're lead, they got the main role, and they're not showing up. They're like, well, if I don't show up, they got a whole production. They got to wait till I get there. I just don't get it sometimes.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, but we both know that this is reality. That's what it happens.
Yes, right. It's reality. So, so if anyone is really thinking of getting into this industry, man, you really got to be in it 100%. You can't go in there 99.8 or 99.5. You got to be 100% in all the way to make this, whatever project happen. Because everybody is accountable for what they do, in a project.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And and that's what you learn when you're part of these projects. Otherwise, you would not have any way of knowing.
Okay, so I got a question. Somebody just said, Alan's also famous for McGreasy.
McGreasy.
What's that all about, McGreasy?
Well. I see. I see. Bella said that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, she's almost right. It's actually no. Take the MC. Take the Mick off of it. So myself,
Greasy.
I call myself A Greasy. That's my hip hop name.
Okay,
Greasy.
Yeah. See, they actually I wanted to use Greasy, but that was already taken.
Okay.
So basically, in my family, I'm A Greasy, my wife is R Greasy, etc. You know, I just saw the first letter in front of it. So Bella remembered that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, right. So that actually started during Shock Nation when I brought that up. You know,
You got my hip hop name.
So how'd you get that name?
oh, I just did it myself. I just decided, I said, you see all these people having these names, in the industry. So I said, well, what would if I were a hip hop artist, which of course I'm not,
Right.
what would I call myself? So that's where that came from. I definitely, we very, very highly respect all the hip hop artists that were out there. They worked very hard and everything. So it's just so I just for kind of fun, I decided to see if I could, what name would I use if I were one of them.
Greasy. I like that. Greasy. Hey, go get Greasy. Where he at? That's awesome. That's so dope. So you're also a part of nonprofit organizations that you work with as well, correct?
Yes, and of course, this is our opportunity to talk about Bella Levy and the Bella Levy Foundation.
Yes.
Yes. So Bella Levy Foundation, its ultimate goal is to fight human trafficking and also to provide a safe space for the victims of human trafficking. That's really the ultimate goal, is to come up with literally safe spaces for these people to go. And once again, and the website is bellalevy.org, BELLALEVY.org. And everybody, please go out to that website and check it out. You get to see more details of all the things that Bella is doing.
Yeah,
so and how I came in contact with Bella. Another story was, I was on set of a production, and Bella was there that day. She was actually the COVID officer that day, and we got to speaking, and she was talking about some of the stuff that she'd done, like being in pageants, and her passion project, the Blue Ribbon Project, which once again has to do with human trafficking, and then nothing happened for a few months. Then she reached out to me again, and asked if I would, so that's when we really started working together. And she actually formed the Bella Levy Foundation as a nonprofit, and that's what happened. And we're on the and I'm also one of the members of the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation.
All right. Real quick, the one thing, the quote that she had, so she said she's fighting for those that do not have a choice or a voice. Yeah. And I love that.
That's a very good quote. I didn't think of that. Okay, I did not. Yeah, but that's definitely another way of explaining it. But the main thing is, Bella is she's traveling all over the country to push the message. Yeah, but right. And so she's always in and out, all the time. And I really appreciate the work that she's doing, on this worthwhile cause. And I know that Bella and I will continue to be working together. And we bounce ideas off each other, and I'm glad that I'm able to help her out, and she helps me out too. So kudos to Bella, and I'm glad that she's here watching.
Yes. She be trying to drag me to all her projects. I said, Bella, you can't be dragging me to all these parts. But it's because Bella and I, we have a good we have good communication. We're good friends and stuff, and and I understand that she feels comfortable when I'm around, when I'm around her and stuff like that, and we work good together. We make a great team, her and I, and that's why we work together. And we come up with ideas and projects, and we just want to bring good people. We just want to bring good people together to work together and grow. We about humanity. We about helping, and so when this project came along, I got the call first. They call me. Mark called me with Steve and say, "Hey, we got this idea. We want you to come aboard." And which I was so grateful because they could have called anybody, right? They know so many people, but they decided to call me to be a part of this project. I said, okay, well, what's the project about? They told me about it. I love the idea. I said, okay, let me run this down through my friend, my partner, Bella, because anything that I get into, I try to involve her in the same thing, So she loved it. She loved the project, and she's aboard, and that's why we are trying to work together right now as we speak. But right this present day, you working on how many projects? You said like 3 projects. Are you still working with Danielle on another project?
Well, we are. As a matter of fact, yeah, well, Danielle and I would, as I said, we were just talking today, and she was mentioning a couple of projects that she's going to be picking up on starting. So I'll definitely be working with her some more.
So how do you manage everything, Alan? Like, how do you manage, all these projects, your your marriage? I don't know if you got any. I'm pretty sure you have kids, and your kids. Like, how do you manage to do all this?
Oh, well, I guess it helps to have an appreciative spouse, and right. So it's true. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, this it also is my passion. She understands, So but we do plenty of other things together that have nothing to do with this. So
Right.
That's and you guys are each other's motivation. Having
yeah.
that passion, that's a beautiful thing.
I say that because it's hard to balance your marriage and do the filming. You're here, you're there, and you're everywhere, and I'm the type of person, when I got too much stuff going on, I cannot focus. I don't get nothing done.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing done.
Well, time management is something that I have to do better at, and I'm working on that. So you are exactly right about what you said, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, is there anything else that you would like the audience to know about you or what you're doing? Anything else?
Yeah. Let me mention a few others of my collaboration. Then I'm gonna plug something else.
Okay.
I'm See, so Black Women Are Scary is a podcast that I'm involved with. These are stories about but mostly about women in horror, and it's Wimoto Nayoka. She is the driving force behind that podcast, and I've been a part of the story committee on that. So we would have meetings talking about what basically these are originally in print, and we decide which ones want to be dramatized in audio, because the podcast is audio only. So just like it kind of sounds like an old-fashioned radio program in a sense.
Right.
So that's one collaboration that I'm involved with, and another one is this London Glossy, which is an online magazine based in the United Kingdom. And then the main editor is her name is Deborah Thomas, and I've been working with her the past few years on that. So that's another total aside of me, is that working with her on London Glossy magazine, and ways and the various things that should be done as part of that. So there's some really great things happening there. So that's the thing too. And let's see. I want to point out we mentioned Clubhouse earlier in the show, and I'd like to point out that I have a regular Clubhouse room every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, where it's called Support Our Creatives, which matches the name of my organization, and so that's, as I said, on Clubhouse every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and so I hope that everybody, listeners here, will who are on Clubhouse will join me in the room at that time, and the special guest this week is Shakisha Williams. She's a filmmaker and podcaster, and she's run crowdfunding campaigns, and she's also helping. I'm also working with her in in trying to support our creatives a rebranding. So there'll be some interesting things happening to support our creatives in the new year. So I want to let maybe know about Shakisha Williams. If you want, if you need help with your organization, you should reach out to her, because she would be able to definitely help you out. So yeah. So that's and okay, my website is supportourcreatives.com.
Okay, that's awesome. So, is there anyone you want to shout out, say hello to, or anything of that sort?
Well, let me see. I mean, I guess well, I think I'll give a shout out to Sheree McCain. I shout her out because she's also once again a filmmaker here in the Baltimore area, and I like to say that she gave me my first break. She gave me she was the person who got me to allowed me to be on set for the very first time. So it's very special. Wanted to give her a special shout out.
Okay,
Yeah.
big shout outs to her. That's great. And again, give us your website if people need to reach out to your organization or anything like that. Where can they go?
Okay, so once again, it's supportourcreatives.com, supportourcreatives.com. Yeah, the organization actually support our creatives with a hashtag in front of the word creatives. So it's support our hashtag creatives, and it's that's, as I said, that's and when you go there, you can you'll see all my other social media links and stuff like that, and you can also, there's a contact page where you can reach out to me if you want to want to pitch your project to me, and that would be, I really would appreciate that. That'd be great.
Right. So you have a IMDb? Do you have an IMDb?
Yes, I do. It's under search for Alan Greenstein, and you'll see all my projects I've been involved with. It's mostly in the producer area. You'll note, and so you'll see the projects there. So that's a good place to go to see what I've been up to. And one of course one of the things I do is part of Support Our Creators. I've actually helped people create their IMDb pages on their projects in the first place. So I do that, and also even have created some of their helped create their social media platforms for themselves. I've done that too.
Awesome, you do a lot. So
and all that, and all that is. Continue.
No, you continue.
And once again, if you go to supportourcreatives.com, you'll see all the different kinds of things that I can do as a collaborator on your projects.
Awesome. That's great. Listen, I'm honored that to have met you, and I'm glad you came on the show. You took some time to come on the show. We're definitely going to bring you back on the show in a couple months. Just to kind of see what you're up to and stuff like that, and hopefully we can get to work together soon and get this project we working on the road and see what we need to get it started. But I want to thank you, definitely thank you for
your time,
and coming aboard, and we'll see you real soon. We'll talk to you this Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, as I said, looking forward to learning more about the project, and I'm sure that it's gonna be great.
It is going to be great. We're going to make sure it's a great project.
That's it.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I want to thank everybody for logging in and showing support to my brother Alan here. Thank you, Bella, Lacey, Daniel, and everyone else that's on the show. And
thank you, everybody, coming on.
Yes, and we'll see you soon, Alan. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, ciao. Yes, everybody, that was Alan Greenstein.
Yes,
Greenstein in the building. Great guy. As you guys can see, the guy does all types of things. The guy, see, if I was Alan.
If you were Alan, I'm tired of just hearing about it.
I'll be a dead man because there's too much stuff. Yes, too much stuff going on that he's doing. This guy's everywhere, and doing so much thing for the people, you know, and great things for people. And see, we need more people like Alan, you know, in the world. Like we need people like that. That's willing to work and help people and create projects um and make projects come into life. Like we need that.
Yeah.
Like we truly do need good people like that. And I'm just honored to have met him and know that he's part of my friend Bella's Libby's foundation, because I know that she got a great guy there. So you know, this is so dope. And you know, so that's one of our guests. I'm you know, I know you guys enjoyed it. But at 5 o'clock, we have CEO of Family Loyalty Inc. He's an artist. He got 2 of his own children that are artists by the name of Zombie Ray and Big Swole.
Big Swole.
You
I
can look
love
him up.
that, man. That girl's
She's
big.
so
Listen, Big Swole. I'm saying it like this, but I saw, you know,
Yes.
Heart of a Lion.
That's right. We cannot forget that. She came here and she killed me with that when she said, I have a heart of a lion. And I was that threw me way to the left, you know, but he got great kids. They're on the great path. They smart kids. They're about their school and about their music. And today we'll be talking to their father, which is Ray Triology, and he'll be here live in the studio. He's coming here to the studio. So we'll be talking to him at 5 o'clock. Make sure you guys tune in and see what he's got going on. And we also have someone coming in at 7 p.m. tonight. Do you remember who the other? Oh, yes.
Man.
We have Robert Rahi. He's a forensic psychology. Yes.
Forensic. We get for paranormal. Now we got forensics.
Yeah,
Like,
forensic psychology. He's been doing it for
so
over
you
30
need a
years.
forensic person for your movie, don't you? Wait, no, that's a crime.
Oh, we might. Hey, we might. You know,
you never know.
Every you know, this is what I love about filming. You can create stuff for people to be a part of the movie, and that's a good. I'm glad you said that.
That's a good observation. And I normally don't do that part, but I did it today.
You did good today. I'm very proud of you. So you know. So this is what I'm talking about, people. You know, people that know people that know people that do certain things that you can bring to your projects and create something beautiful. You know, and the fact that what we're working on is based on true events makes it more and more interesting, because they have live audio of the spirits talking into their devices. So, you know, which we might be able to use to this film, which is going to make it real creepy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make it real creepy. So I'm just excited, you know, to see what Mr. Steve Alexander has written so far as the script, because I want Mr. Allen to take a look at it, you know, and see what he thinks about it, to see if there could be any changes, because, you know, he's been doing this for a long time.
Right, see if he could be creative. Oh,
yeah, I like that.
Like that
creative,
one.
And
like
he is creative.
One.
He is creative. So that's the beauty of filming, and the people that you surround yourself with and you bring into a project that can make this project so fun, you know, and that's what it's about. You know, put out the product and have fun while you do it, you know, and come up with other creativities, you know what I'm saying? And Alan is that guy. So we're going to see you guys at 5 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in and to share. Sharing is caring. You see what?
We had a good, listen, from the beginning when we first started doing this, we was on point with it. But now it's just like,
I'm going to tell you why.
And I look over there.
I'm going to tell you why we're not getting on time. Because he been missing class. He been missing class. He ain't been here for almost 2 times. You know what I'm saying? He been missing class, so he's off focus. He's
all right, so everybody, share,
because sharing is caring.
We'll be back Tune in at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Live in studio, everybody. You know, take a little break. We're gonna go take a break and take a little corner store walk or something.
Yeah.
You know.
And we'll be back at 5 o'clock with CEO of Family Loyalty Inc. Okay, guys. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys at 5 o'clock. Okay. Thank you guys.